Hello and what is up guys, Rai here and welcome back to some more automation and BeamNG.Drive. Today we are building a fast car, and not just any fast car, we are building pretty much the fastest car absolutely possible in automation that I've seen so far. And then we're going to drive it in BeamNG.Drive after, and we'll see just what this thing can do top speed-wise, so make sure to stay tuned towards the end and we'll see how fast this thing can actually go in BeamNG. First things first, of course, we have carbon fiber, absolutely everything. This car is going to be quality spam to high heaven, which is okay. The whole point of this car is just to go as fast as possible. If you want to see a fast production car, I've made a video as well. I'll put the link down below, and I made a 300 mile an hour realistic quote-unquote supercar. So we're going to go for a mid-launch turtle engine, push rod front and rear, that's the lightest and also pretty much the sportiest, so we'll do that as well. A new engine. Now, I've done some testing and tuning, and as you guys can probably tell by the thumbnail, this car is insanely fast. I'm not quite sure exactly how fast it'll be yet, but you'll know from the thumbnail. So we're going to go for an inline 6. Now, the reason I'm going for an inline 6, not a V10, not a V12, not a V16, is because inline 6s are very overpowered in this game. And they are easy to get a lot of power, and they are quite light as well. The thing with the most importance for this car is incredibly light. It's got to be very, very, very light, obviously. And the power matters as well. And also a red line. So it needs a 12,000 RPM red line. It needs to be light with one cylinder head and one bank of cylinders. Will have less weight as well. And we can just have a small engine because inline 6s are really efficient in this game. We're going to go down to a very, very small engine. It's going to be a 1 liter straight 6 engine. A 1 liter inline 6. Now, we're going to push some pretty impressive horsepower numbers, I think. I've done some testing and tuning and stuff. And I think you'll be rather surprised on how much power we can get out of this thing. It's not tons of power. I'm not going to make the most power absolutely ever. Oh, actually, I can see. I'm using the old version, and the menu is actually kind of, you can see through there. That's kind of weird there. Okay. Full cam profile, we're going to need that because the power has got to be made as high as we can. And a turbocharger, of course, we'll go for a race tune. And we'll put it to about 500 horsepower to start. And don't worry, we're going to quality spam everything right after. Yoink that up to 12,000. We don't need bypass valves, so we'll just go for nothing. Yoink that up there. A 3-inch exhaust, probably to start. So right now, off the hop, this thing is 260 horsepower. It's probably one of the highest horsepower per liters of any car, production car, even though the engine already costs millions of dollars, but that's okay. And we'll yoink this all the way up again. So everything's all yoinked up to 15. We can probably go for a 3.5-inch exhaust. Okay, okay. So I mean, if we can rev to 16,000, that'd be fantastic. We can't, though. We're going to put this thing to probably 10.5 or 11 to 1 to start. No. 10 to 1 to start it is. Okay, we'll do 10 to 1. We yoinked it up all the way to 100. Even though we're losing power up here, that's okay because when we increase the AR ratio, it's going to help us out just a little bit. And once we increase the boost as well. So we'll increase the boost. Let's do that. So 370 horsepower. Then we'll go a bit more fuel. It's going to give us a lot more octane. Not much more power, but a lot more octane, which we can use it for ignition timing. We can actually play around with the turbo or the turbine size and the compressor size. I'm hoping for at least, okay, so we need a large compressor. Okay, large compressor. Bigger intercooler to get some more boost. And then a little bigger on the turbine. 430 horsepower is actually, I think, more than one ahead in my test. So that's already looking good to me. We can go 10 to 1, or 10.5 to 1, sorry, compression. Then the rest, we'll slap on some pretty high ignition timing on there. So 82. 440 horsepower, which is 440 horsepower per liter. It's a little bit high. That's okay, though. That's good. See, bypass valves do nothing to just add a weight. We can go for even... So 3 horsepower, and we can save 0.2 of a pound now. We'll leave that as is. So I think the engine's pretty good. I might tune it a bit more. 440 horse is more than enough to get this thing where we need to go. Going up to 15 there. And we're going to build a car. I want to design this car like the actual Rocket 69 car from Fallout, because that's apparently what it was. I had no idea. I'm a Fallout guy. I've played Fallout before, but it just didn't click with me. But it is the Rocket 69, I believe, mod body for automation. I'm back in the old version, obviously. Or the public version, not the open beta. And we'll go to a rear-wheel drive, a dual clutch, 7-speed. It doesn't matter how much gears you have. We can go for a 9-speed advanced auto, and it's actually a lower top speed. The only thing limiting our top speed is the RPMs, according to automation, which is kind of silly, but that's okay. I wish we could adjust the gearing further on. We're going to yoink that up to 904. So you can see here, 904 is the absolute most in automation, but we're going to base it off top speed. So the estimated top speed right now is only 591. That's okay, we're still working on it. Semi-slicks, we're going to go for very wide tires. It doesn't actually affect our top speed in automation at all, which is fantastic. Carbon ceramics, 1 piston, the smallest possible. We don't need good brakes for this thing. It's just a driving car. And we'll go for fully clad. 0 cooling on the engine there. We don't need that. That's fine. And we'll increase it to plus 15. That's the lightest possible combo. No power steering. We'll give it traction aids and stuff because that shouldn't affect our stuff, but I'll double check and make sure. And no safety. And progressive, semi-active, and passive. It's just lightweight and quite good as well. So right off the flop here, we got pretty impressive numbers. So I think, yeah, plus 15 there too. Make sure everything's all good to go before we take a look. Plus 15. The aerodynamics is going to give us a lot of top speed. Okay, so I think we're good. We can see the top speed now. 0.63.7. It's pretty good. We're going to get much lower than that still. But top speed, before we do any testing and tuning finally, 1,602 kilometers an hour. So when we go into BeamNG.Drive, and this is going to be the really fun part, I want to see how high we can actually get. 2 ways. So if we can actually hit 900 kilometers an hour, which is what this car is physically limited to with the gearing, then that's great. And if we can get over 900 kilometers an hour, or if we hit that or very, very close, I will go and modify the BeamNG files and see if we can make it go to the actual 1600. But as far as automation is concerned, we're hitting at least 1,600 kilometers an hour. That's a lot of speed. 702 sportiness. Yeah, sportiness. 702 sportiness. That's a fair bit. I'll take that. And I think if we go to none even, see, I think we're still the exact same 060, yeah, 1602. So we can have the, might as well have the max safety features and whatnot. Now, this engine is actually a little bit heavier than my test car. Just a little bit heavier. I think it got a little bit faster in my test car with less horsepower, actually, but that's okay. We'll put that down to a race tune and lower it down a bit. So I think right here, I think the tires will actually affect our size too, so we can yoink this up just a bit more. 0.63 seconds with a rear-wheel drive, 400 horsepower. But, you know, obviously we weigh nothing. Literally nothing. So 1,600 even. You know what? Like, honestly, like, I'm fine with that. That's fine if we can hit at least 1,600. The tires are going to affect that a bit. We'll go for smaller tire diameter. Can we do it still? 1611. Okay, I don't think we want to go any smaller than 340 and 305. We're going to have some oversteer, it looks like. Even if we do abs, like, see, we can't have any wings. The wings are going to hurt us our top speed. We got to drive it as far as just as good as we can with what we got. So we got understeer until about 200 kilometers an hour, then oversteer. It's not going to be pleasant to drive at all. There might be a few takes. We should be fine with the 0 air cooling, I think. If not, I will tune it and we'll see. But as far as automation is concerned, we're doing 1,620 kilometers an hour. So for all you people who don't know what, you know, kilometers an hour is, all you people from in imperial units, let's take a look here. So 1,600 kilometers an hour is about 995 miles an hour. So 1,620, which is obviously what we're hitting right now. 1,006 miles per hour. 1,006 miles an hour is what we're theoretically capable of, but we are limited by gearing. Of course, this body has absolutely no drag, which defies the laws of physics. But that's fun. That's perfectly fine by me. That's okay. So I think what we're gonna do a quick design on this car. This car doesn't have to look too pretty. I'm gonna try to do some, you know, Rocket 69S design in the front and the rear, and it's a pretty simple car. So I'll do that real quick. Then we'll hop into BeamNG and just really see what this thing. All right, guys. So sit back, relax, guys, and I hope you enjoy. It's a pretty simple design, honestly. All I want to do really is copy the front end-ish from the Rocket 69 car from Fallout, which I do with some big old circle headlight, which basically just a giant circle grille that I'm making into sort of headlights, and using, or trying to use, I guess, just some exhaust tips, just to sort of look like headlights or to mimic the actual Rocket 69. I'll put a picture on the screen here of what I'm actually trying to mimic. It's not perfect, obviously. It's just a very quick design. The design doesn't matter all that much for this one. The taillights, again, trying to copy the similar design, so they sort of go in with something sticking out at the end. So I do the in part first with my own sort of taillight. And then finished in front of us is the 2020. This is the Red Hornet 69.5. Okay, guys, so the car is done. We got the Red Hornet 69.5. I didn't want to copy the Rocket 69. This is the Red Hornet 69.5 because, you know, haha, funny number. It's done in front of us. And a couple things. So it was glitching out a bit in automation, saying it could do 4,333 kilometers an hour. which is interesting. But now it says it can do 1900, and I think this is legit because before we was saying that was 0 reliability. Now we've upped our cooling airflow to allow us to have some more reliability, which cooling airflow is 32, which is pretty high. And we're getting 1,880 kilometers an hour. That looks like a legitimate top speed. We have very little wheel spin somehow. No one knows. So let's look at the design real quick. It's similar to the Rocket 69. I just took inspiration from it. Obviously, I can't make it exactly. Just have a bunch of exhausts for headlights, quote unquote. I'm not sure how they work. No one knows. Turret signal built into the side there. We have just a little emblem there on the side. Very, very plain, similar to the actual Rocket 69. We got white wall tires, because what else would you want? And then the back is got some similar chrome pieces. And I didn't want to actually put a wing here because it gave it so much downforce, like 10,000 pounds of downforce. And that's not ideal. The back end is also fairly similar, like the taillights and stuff. So I just did that really quick. It's not meant to be a crazy. Actually, it needs an actual tailpipe. It's not meant to be a crazy design car. It's just meant to be kind of fun. We're just having fun with this build today. Nothing crazy special. Just go no tip, and we'll just go like. It doesn't really matter if you have dual or single. Just exhaust right there. Sure, that's fine. That's fine. So quickly looking at everything else. So at 1,372 pounds, we've got negative. We've got a negative 0.12 coefficient of drag. So we're breaking the laws of physics here. Perfect. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Top speed at 904 kilometers an hour in quotations. But in reality, it can do... Okay, it can do 1160 now. That's even more frustrating. I literally touched nothing. If we go back to here... Okay, we're back to 1600. I'll leave it at... We got 0 reliability now. I'm just going to see if it... I think it should drive BeamNG. What we're going to do is jump into BeamNG.Drive real quick. I just want to see really top speed. This is it. If we can hit close to 900 kilometers an hour, then I will go ahead and modify the BeamNG files, and we'll just see if this thing can hit even more. I'll see you guys there in just 1 second. Okay, guys, so we're in BeamNG.Drive. This is the car here. Now, it's not perfect. It doesn't nearly hit top speed. It's so unstable. So what I did is I added a few wings, and they create a lot of downforce. The top speed has been limited to about 700 kilometers an hour in BeamNG, but automation, theoretically, we can hit 1600. But when we bring it to BeamNG, it's just so glitchy. It's obviously it's imperfect. This is a mod body. It's a game after all. And our theoretical here should be around 600 to 700 kilometers an hour. I mean, we'll give it a try. I've already done some testing. We're gonna pop off the ESC, and like the tires do tend to pop a lot instantly. Sometimes they don't. So we'll start off here, third person. Look at the car after. I mean, it sounds great, so that's obviously a plus. Sounds so good. But so we've got a lot of downforce on here, and it should be stable. We've got decent sized tires. We got in the mid 300s or 200s for size. You can see here the front's starting to get away from us just a little bit. We're gonna hold it down though. This is the only try that I'm actually gonna really. Okay, we're losing just a bit here. Nope. Recovered. Okay, we're good. That was 180 or 150, 160. Now, if we made this thing all-wheel drive, obviously we'd have a better time in actually hitting it. But our top speed would be quite a bit shorter. And I feel like this body is just not meant to be, with this. It's a good body, and people have, I'm sure, have done much higher in BeamNG than I have with this body. But hey, in automation, for a brief second, it said 4,300, and that made me happy. So I'm disappointed that we can't hit crazy top speeds. This thing's actually quite slow. Like, good acceleration, but it's just... For a car that weighs pretty much nothing, it's kind of like, yeah. The turbo lag is so unreal. Like, if we just That's a pretty good 0 to 60, actually. But if we go, like... Okay, wait. If we go to, like... Here, we'll stop for a second. The brake's literally nothing. If we go to... like, third. There's no power at all. 6,000, and then 6,000, 6,200. It just kicks in immediately. It's just tons of power, all up to what, 10,000 or so RPM. It's so bad. This car's just awful. This is probably my worst car to drive ever, and it's great. We're doing 200 kilometers an hour. That's something in 1950. That's probably an appropriate speed for a fast car. Like, what's the fastest car in 1950? Did we achieve it? Let's take a look. Actually, fastest car. 1960, we'll even say. 1950. Let's do that. Okay. 240 kilometers an hour Aston Martin or Mercedes-Benz SL. Aston Martin DB4 GT, which should do 240 or so kilometers an hour. I mean, can we even beat that? If we can beat that, then I'll call us a day. This is like a 1950s aero body, I guess. Even though our car is like literally a spaceship on wheels. That's okay. If we can hit... We are scraping, it looks like. Down below, it's scraping. No one knows at this point. I'm not even sure myself. Look at the back end, though. That's kind of cool. If we turn on the lights, that's kind of cool. In fourth gear, we'll drive from the back. Look at that. So it looks like the car is almost leaning a little bit to the left. We're wafting away from us, too. Nope. Oh, didn't like that at all. So, I guess the moral of the story here is just definitely baby the shifting. But I think we can achieve a pretty good top speed. I've done a few tries on it, so obviously I'm not going to spend all day doing tries. If you guys want to try it, I'll leave the car down below so you guys can download it. As you can see, it actually, when we're on boost, it actually loses speed, which is hilarious. Look, we're losing speed in fourth right now. So you almost can't granny shift this car. Yeah, that's better. That's a better run. Oh, nope. Almost lost it there. Oh, wait. No, 330. You know what? It's good. It's fine. It's fine. It's definitely the slowest top speed car I've ever made. A lot slower than my other 300 mile an hour, yes. So 500 kilometer an hour supercar I made, which is crazy. If you guys want to check that out, yeah, link is in the description. So this one wasn't really a BeamNG BeamNG test, obviously. It was mostly just automation, seeing if we can break it. I'd say I like to think we broke automation's top speed. Like how it works and stuff. We hit 4,300 kilometers an hour. I mean, we hit 1,600 kilometers an hour is what I'll say. So I think it's fair to say 1,600 kilometers an hour is what I was saying reasonably most of the time. It varied a lot, but 1,600 it is. We'll end it off here. If you guys like the video, leave a like down below. It does mean a lot to me. Helps me out as well. If you guys want to see more, make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys want to see me do with this car. Maybe if I can actually make like as fast as I can make it. Maybe we'll see. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you next time.